Welcome to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Willies. This is a progressive program that will take the mystery out of politics. This is the program that will encourage you to make sure government becomes we the people. Whether you are liberal, progressive, conservative, or otherwise, you get to air your point of view. We are an independent media outlet that, unlike mainstream media beholden to corporations, we only owe allegiance to you. Remember, you can also send me a tweet at EGBERTOWILLIES. That is at Egberto Willies. Let us engage. It is Politics Done Right. Well, folks, welcome to one more edition of Politics Done Right. I'm Egberto Willies, your host. We had a little bit of a slow start because we couldn't get our zapper to work, and it seems like our zapper is still not working, but we'll continue to try. We'll continue to try. How you guys doing today, my friends? How are you doing today? I trust you are doing fine. Well, what can I say? It's been a difficult morning. Having to watch all that we see on TV. Is it true? Is it not true? What's going on? Is it real? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, let's see, how do we get started here? What is the show going to be about today? Let me go ahead and see. Oh, there is what the show is going to be about today. You probably need to put it on the screen. Hey, yesterday a lot of you were concerned about the whereabouts of one of our wonderful members of the PDR posse, the Politics Done Right posse, Linda E. Well, after Bridge MCP says, Egberto, you better find Linda E. We haven't seen her in a while. Said, you know, we're family out here, so we better, when some of you kind of play hooky for a while, other people are looking for you. So I contacted Linda E. and she said she was having a few issues, you know, a little bit of health issues. And that she makes sure to catch the program in podcast when she's able to, when she's more comfortable, etc. But that she was very happy that people in the room were concerned about her. But I don't know why it was so strange to her. We're a loving people in this room. We love everybody. All our folks in here, or liberals, or conservatives, or renegades, everybody in this room we love, don't we? So anyhow, I contacted her and it's all fine. So Bridge, I think I mentioned that to you, let you know that everything was working just fine out there. So please, when you see her, remember to tell her, hey, bienvenida, regresando. Politics Done Right. Okay. What is the show going to be about today? Let me go ahead and get that on screen. Let's go ahead and get that on screen. The show today is going to be quite nice, I hope. Not nice, I hope. We're going to make it so. So I'm a little bit trastornado aquí porque tengo mucho que hacer. There we go. All right. Oh, wrong screen. Here's the show. Katie Porter warns Biden. Jen Psaki, neuters reporter. Jake Tapper fails with Mississippi governor. And the two things with the reporters, those are two things that gives us. But beforehand, let me just go ahead and welcome my people. Michael Rudden says, carbon dioxide spikes to critical record, half to Dublin pre-industrial level. Halfway to Dublin pre-industrial level. The concentration of heat-trapping gas topped 420 parts per million, while the planet has warmed more than 2 degrees. We've reached 420 parts per million carbon dioxide atmospheric concentrations. Should we laugh as we prepare to die, or will we do something about it? Carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has spiked to record-setting levels. One of the U.S. premier observatories for measuring carbon dioxide emission released into the atmosphere reported a record-breaking figure on April 3rd, noting a total of 421.21 particulate matter per ppm. What is ppm? Parts per million of carbon dioxide in the Earth atmosphere, the highest daily average ever recorded. Fossil fuels get too many governmental handouts. Biden wants to cut them off. The American Jobs Plan proposes taking away major tax breaks from fossil fuel industry. We're finally getting serious about properly. Look, we need to look. Why are we giving people who are pulling stuff out of the ground for free and giving them a tax break at that? Is it, yes, they invested in learning how to dig deep holes. I worked on that. You know what bond tools are? I worked on the bond tool for both NL Industries and Atlas, Dresser Atlas, the bond tool for casing centralization. Now, listen, none of these companies should be getting handouts at all. They're pulling something that belongs to us all out of the ground and then charging us an arm and a leg for it. That's ridiculous. Biden boosted by Senate rules as GOP bucks infrastructure. Democrats are going to use budget reconciliation to pass infrastructure spending with a simple majority. No filibuster will block the necessary spending. Infrastructure spending will help as many people while making our nation better. This is going to be widely popular after we start building up our nation. Those who oppose this legislation will be remembered, and their careers will be short-lived. Fixing our nation is in our hands. Time to get to work. I don't know if you guys saw all those billboards that are going up. They said all through the country says on the billboards, thank these people for the $1,400 you got. They show the people who voted for it in that state and those who voted against it. No thanks to them. Thank you to them. It is fantastic the way I see the Democrats are starting to campaign before the campaign season. It is great watching how they are really, really starting to understand what Obama did wrong, what Clinton did wrong, and what most Democrats do wrong. And that is not to let people know that the good things that are happening to them are policies passed by progressives, policies passed by Democrats. All the hindrances, all the holdbacks, oh, we can't spend that, we can't do that, has always been on the conservative side, who have never, ever seen a tax cut they didn't like or a giveaway to a corporation they didn't like. So, I mean, they're doing the right thing, letting Americans know that the things that are benefiting the basic, regular, average American citizen, those things that are benefiting them, where is it coming from? Policies that support them. Welcome aboard, AVQ, Michael Rudnan. Welcome aboard, Bridge MCP. Hey, y'all, Deborah John. LA, what's poppin'? I know you guys are doing fine in LA, man. Nanette Bird Smith. Howdy, Nanette. The duck that quacks. I just love that name, the duck that quacks. Lee Grant, my brother, my conservative brother. How you doing, sir? He says, looks like Biden is going to build a wall. The Biden administration is reportedly considering restarting construction of former President Donald Trump's wall along the U.S.-Mexico border as the administration struggles to maintain control of the wide worsening border crisis. I imagine what he means is, look, if he's talking about building a physical wall, I will be completely against that. A physical wall that impairs water moving naturally across the border, that animals don't know about any darn barrier. Please. I can understand them putting a logical fence, meaning like what we've always spoken about, cameras, sensors, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, let's control the border for the sake of safety, but not for the sake of punitive attacks on people that are coming over here because of policies that we have towards Central America and South America, and policies these countries have to appease us. Eric Hayes, welcome aboard. Hi, look like 60 Minutes got called out. Really? What did they get called out about, Eric? Let me see. 60 Minutes Governor DeSantis Publix. No, 60 Minutes didn't get called out. DeSantis is a crook. Governor DeSantis is a crook. Governor DeSantis is a racist. Governor DeSantis is all bad. A pompous Trump-like governor that's getting a whole lot of his people killed, and that is having pay for play. You want your injections? Fly from any part of the world and come on in. Don't buy le crap. He's a crook. Doesn't matter that he says, oh, well, this money came in here and there. The man is a crook, and he knows he's a crook. We are the people. Bridge MCP, absolutely right. Michael Rudnin, if I'm ever away for more than a few days, check my wall. More than likely, I left a message about away at time. I'm glad to see you're checking up on your friends who are absent. Well, Michael, there are about 2 or 3 times I had to check on you. Don't forget that, my brother. I actually came to your wall and like, hey, where the hell are you, brother? We require to have our people, our wonderful followers out here. Actually, we're a team. Wonderful people out here keeping us doing all the right thing. Okay, E2247, Linda E. Looking to see you in good health so I can be grateful for that. Yes, she is doing fine. Our good old Linda E will be around. I don't know if she's going to come today or not, but let's be prepared when she comes to say, hey, yeah, welcome aboard. E2, excellent block a topic. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate that. The ducks that quacks. Anybody else I need? Mike Cisak. I wonder how ever the dinosaurs live when the CO2 was at 4,000 parts per million. Most have been tough, like very warm all over. Mike Cisak, there's some truth to what you're saying. I've watched a few programs about when our carbon dioxide levels were high. And not only that, but there are some differences here, and that is as plants grew, as we turn carbon into fossil fuels by taking it out of the air, and a lot of people don't understand that, but everything that you have in the ground, all the oil, the carbon, all of that, those are remnants from animals and plants that suck the carbon out of the air and turn it into what we now call fossil fuels. Is just converted sunlight and carbon into some substance in the ground that can be burned back into the air. The question is, should we burn it back into the air to create the kind of climate that we had at other times in the world? Well, the truth of the matter is that would only make sense if we are willing to lose our coastlines where most people live along the world, and also be ready for the kinds of storms that creates. While a dinosaur can take a fairly big storm, I don't think us little human beings can. So, Mike, I want to give some kudos or credence to some of the stuff that you say there, meaning that even at 4,000 parts per million, there probably is enough oxygenated air for us to continue to live. The question is, what about weather and all these other things? Bridge MCP, watch a 5-minute interview of Psaki. Was so good. A regular with 2 wee ones cracked me up. I tell you, girl, I know what you mean. Courtney, the SLP. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Don't forget to like the stream. Yes, please remember, folks, like the stream. And not only like the stream, but please go to our YouTube. And if you're on YouTube right now, go ahead and subscribe to that YouTube. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about just the join. Go ahead and click subscribe so that you get a notification when we go live. But also, if you will, might as well go ahead and join as well. Pretty inexpensive, and you support what we do here, which is important work to make sure we get the material out there. Michael Rudden said, Berta, thanks for reading out all my posts. Always do when I can. Eric Hayes says, circle back. We'll circle back, brother. Michael Rudden, the Republicans keep voting against the needs of the people. The people need to know about it when such happens. Exactly. Tom Hines, welcome aboard. Bridge MCP. Mike Cisak, good link. Thanks. Okay, let's see. Para ver. Fact check. Biden executive order halts border wall construction, redirects funding. Thank you for the fact check, Michael Rudnin. Ted Moore, welcome aboard. The Republicans never come up with any ideas that get any health care or education or even roads or bridges. Well, okay, Eric Hayes says safety for the cartels. Para ver, come on, that's not true. McConnell threatens corporations. Tom Hines points out. Eric Hayes says, nope, Democrats agree with him. Read on. Melissa Noble, the border. Hi, Melissa, how you doing? The border is understaffed. Check mark. Also, immigration office. That's also where they need to focus as well as other countries' leaders. Absolutely so. Nanette Bird Smith says, truth. Trump, Trump wanna be DeSantis. Yes, exactly. No, DeSantis want to be. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. You're right. You're right. You're right. DeSantis think he's Trump, and he thought it fared well for Trump. He should remember that Trump is a one-term president, which if he wants to be Trump-like, he may be a one-term governor. Bridge MCP DeSantan is a crook. I like it. DeSantan is a crook, but the article wasn't about that. I didn't see the article. What was it about? Okay, Carl Foster, New York Times boss Dean Backward accused by judge deceptive aka false news. Tom Hines, how about 40,000 at Texas baseball? We're going to find out if it was a super spreader event. I mean, let's assume that a lot of those people had vaccinations. It wouldn't turn out to be such a super spreader as one would expect, but we'll see. Dinosaurs lived in a greenhouse, all right. No ice caps. Sea levels were 300 meters higher. They were adapted to higher carbon dioxide levels. We humans are not anything over 1,000 parts per million, and we get poisoned by the air we breathe. Is that the number, Michael? Verify that. I thought we could deal with 4,000 parts per million. Verify that for me. Paul Fleming from ATL checking in. Welcome aboard, Paul. And we have, of course, Breeze MCP. No, Eric, the investigation isn't over and certainly doesn't have the FBI involved. Ted Moore says, remember, there were no people around during the dinosaur times. And Roberto Luis, mi hermano favorito, dice, Feliz martes a todos. That means happy Tuesday to everybody. Welcome aboard, Roberto. How you doing, my brother? Bridge MCP, Ted Moore, but it was a few years ago. Eric Hayes replying to Bridge, that is questionable group 2. Let's see what else. Carl Cox, progressives good, conservatives bad. No, brother Carl Cox. No, brother Carl Cox. I have good conservative friends. We have good conservatives in this room right now. We got Eric Hayes is a good conservative. We also have Mr. Who else is here that's a conservative? I love my conservative friends. They keep me centered. I was on a documentary a few years ago. And on that documentary, Lee Grant is also a conservative. On that documentary, they asked me, you're very liberal, you're progressive. I said, I'm not only liberal, I'm progressive. I'm as left as they go. I am, technically speaking, what one would call a democratic socialist. And they said, oh, really? But you have a lot of conservative friends and you hang with conservatives. And I said, why shouldn't I? I said, these guys keep me checked. I mean, if you look at what a conservative does for me, it means that every time I come up with this great idea, I have to make sure that it's checked on all sides because conservatives are going to find every single fault in that idea, which makes it better. So I don't want conservatives to go away. I want my policies, but I want my policies influenced by all because progressives don't have all the answers. In fact, I've learned a lot from conservatives as far as certain things by either implicitly or explicitly. So let's not say my brother Carl Cox, let's not say progressives good, conservatives bad. Let's just say it's progressives' time right now. Conservatives had not done a very good job in running an economy because they allowed themselves to be taken over. Remember, big government and small government isn't wrong or right. It is what people decide they want. If you want small government, you have to believe that I don't want a lot of help in healthcare. I don't want a lot of help in all these things that when we do together is more effective. You want to say I'm an individualistic person. That's fine if you can live under that domain. However, if you are progressive like I am, you believe in us doing things together, that I am my brother's keeper. I feel deep in the heart that I am my brother's keeper. I have a responsibility to my brother. I have a responsibility to my family. I have a responsibility to my country. Now, conservatives have a more individualistic feeling. Is that wrong or right? It depends on what you want. Okay, Carl Cox and Carl Foster. Carl Foster says, many dinosaurs in the Democratic Party. Bridge MCP, many dinosaurs in Congress. Eric replying, they were weaponized. Eric Hayes, I'll read that later. Berto, yes, at 1,000 parts per million, we get headaches. Such can happen if you are in a room with poor circulation. Thank you for the correction, guy. Ted Moore, again, guys, Michael Rudnan does a lot of good research, so you can trust the information that he puts out there. So I guess Mike Cisak, you better check your numbers. 4,000. I don't think we can live on it. Ted Moore, dinosaurs don't get health care or economic health or improve their environment. Sounds Republican to me. Pamela Shepard, hello from St. Louis, Missouri. Hey, I love St. Louis. I spent 4 days in St. Louis at the Netroots convention. Went ahead to that place to visit Michael Moore's, where they gunned down Michael Moore. I went there to the memorial in, forgot the name of the city, but the town. Real nice area. Did some walking along the Mississippi. Real great. Michael Rodney, Egberto, if you find any conservatives who have a good idea for needs of the people, I'll hear them out, but they're not, and their leaders keep voting. We're not talking about their leaders. Talk to people. Look, sit down sometime and go into in a private conversation with some of our conservatives in the room, where where they don't have to play a role. They don't have to play a Trumpist role. Just go into a conversation, and you see that you can actually have an enlightening conversation, and sometimes they'll point out something that you think that needs some modification. I'm supposed to get started with the program, and you guys keep writing, but I love it because you guys run the show. Eric Hayes says, we are all here to learn from each other, I think. Yes, we are, Senor Hayes. Bridge MCP, differences of opinions is healthy, but not on facts. True. Stephanie Hartland. Welcome, Stephanie Hartland. Welcome aboard. That's right. Objective viewpoints drive progress. Michael Rudnin says, that's a reply. Michael Cisak, what people have to learn is that an opinion is not a fact. Exactly. Thank you very much, Mike Cisak. I'm going to ask you respectfully to remember that statement that you just made. Daniel Lado, welcome aboard, my brother. No big government is immoral and prone to tyranny. Again, there you go. Big government is not inherently immoral, nor it is inherently prone to tyranny. That is an indoctrination that's been placed by the Powell Manifesto for people to believe. There are big governments all over the world that does very well by their people. Let's look at the Scandinavian countries. Let's look at other places where big government work. And the reason it works is because they understand the basic tenet, not individualism, but we the people. That's what it's about, Brother Lido. The duck that quacks. Have the Republicans, let's see what it says here. The duck that quacks says, para ver. I just got let's see, Erica, a coal-fired power plant in Sugar Land. Oh, all right, let's see. Have the Republicans taken any democratic ideas and put them into use to help the U.S. population lately? Not the Democratic, not the Republican Party in Washington. Republican mayors, like some of the Republican governors that we have in the Northeast, they've done good things and they've been rewarded by being elected. So we are not going to govern 50+1, okay? In the Senate right now, that's what we're going to have. In the Congress, because we have nationally, the crazies are in the Senate and the Congress. I just have to say that out loud. Crazy Republicans populate the Senate and the Congress. But when we look at a lot of state governments in the Northeast, a lot of local governments, I had on a guy from Texas, my good friend Rosenthal. He's a statesman here in the Congress, a representative in the Congress, and he said, you would not believe, Egberto, when we are in Congress, most of us, meaning the Democrats and quite a few of the Republicans, they actually govern well together. And if you take a look at some of the policies, not excluding things like the big policies like healthcare, which I think it's murder by Republicans, they get along very well. And I know personally several Republican representatives in Congress right now, our state Congress, or state legislature, they are actually friends of mine. I know a couple of them that became Republicans because they couldn't win in Texas in where they lived as Democrats. I wouldn't name any names because I would get them in trouble. But they've confided in me that they're Democrats at heart in the policies they prefer, but to be successful in the legislature, they have to be Republicans, and they have attenuated many more vile policies that would have otherwise made it through the legislature. Okay, let's see. Melissa Noble says, truth matters. Opposing views need to be factual, not full lies as they have been feeding their base. Absolutely right. Ted Moore, and remember what helps my brother helps me. Exactly. Michael Rudnan, are you talking about Columbine? No, not Columbine. It's not Columbine. It's, I'll think about it after. Pamela Shepard, and you survived. Come on, Pamela, be nice. Love you, girl. Mike Cisak, facts matter, obviously. Biden was called out on his falsehood of the Georgia voter law that was passed. The same falsehood that Egberto and others here are putting out. They are not falsehood. There was no voters. There was no voter fraud in Georgia. Only because Republicans lost Georgia did they try to pass laws that would have impact mostly on black and brown and poor white communities, because those are the people who generally support Democrats. It's that simple. Now, I can name you the policies one by one. By having the state to have to provide water to the people in line, as opposed to, let's say, an organization like Free the People or True to Vote not able to give water. That's a problem. That's voter suppression. By having a law. Let me show you guys how voter suppression works. There's a law that law that was passed says every precinct gets the same number of voting machines. A precinct in Timbuktu doesn't get the volume of a precinct elsewhere. So therefore, that's another form of voter suppression. You can find, when there was voter suppression during Jim Crow, it wasn't anything by law. It's like, how many beads are in this box? You didn't get it right. They made sure it was difficult for you to get it right. You couldn't vote. Or read this. It's voter suppression. They just find ways around the law. Because Mike Cisak, my brother, says it's not, it's wrong. It is voter suppression. Breach MCP says, we all bleed, need health care, love, etc. Remember, Linda Jo Kissinger, hey everyone, hi Linda Jo. Mike Cisak, needing something doesn't mean we are entitled to it. Exberta is spouting ignorance. Well, that's your common modus operandi as far as I'm concerned. You always tell me I'm dumb, I'm stupid. Sometimes you racially attack me every so often. It doesn't matter. Do you think that bothers me? I am just glad you're here. Because even though you might not realize it, a lot of what we're saying here will stick in your head. It'll be planting seeds. Can't afford big government, too expensive. Can you afford big corporations? Read what Milton Friedman, I'm putting it in my new book, Milton Friedman had to say about the corporation. It may have you singing a different tune. Lee Grant, the Georgia law is moderate, that the left needs to lie about. No, it's not moderate at all. Lee Grant, I can tell you some more items that make it not moderate. Michael Rudnan, if government doesn't prioritize the needs of the people, what good is it? Amen. Michael Rudnan says, Mike Cisak, and don't expect corporations to fill in gaps. They will aim for profit. That's what they're supposed to do. They aim to profiteer. That's their design. That's the design of capitalism. There we go. Mike Cisak, oh, wow. They don't, you guys are, man, it looks like I'm going to be on this all the while. All right, you guys keep writing, but keep writing. It's your show. Mike Cisak, I don't expect charities to fill the gaps. Not enough charity to cover all the needs, not even by 10% in all. That is true. Carl Foster say, I always wanted to be a Democrat voter, but I failed because I was too far intelligent. Carl Foster, I don't know what you mean by that. I don't think I'm too dumb, and I am not only a Democrat, I'm a left-winger to the core because I love people. That's what I always say. Bridge MCP, Mike Cisak, not only government, I was in the college, and dear Lord, the corruption. Tom C. Obamacare was originally Romneycare in Massachusetts, exactly, and that's why it doesn't have the policies that it should have to help us all the way we should. Welcome, Brian Miner. Patriots refuse to ascertain that the preamble comes first for all. True. Lee Grant, the left's current lie is that this somehow is Bull Connor. It's not Bull Connor. Bull Connor is of the past. You know what you remember, in the old days, I was a slave. As a black man, I was a slave. Okay? And they got me to work with a whip. And they did all kinds of things to me. Okay? Today, we don't need to have chains. They put me in chains. They did all those things. By the way, I was one of I would have been the ones in either in the Caribbean or Latin America, of course. But here's the thing. Today we don't need chains. We are what I call antiseptic slaves. And I put that in the book of the antiseptic slavery. That's what we have now, antiseptic slavery. What it means is I no longer have to have laws to oppress you. I know how to do things in a capitalist society that naturally oppresses you. And you don't even know. And I even have some of the people that I oppress are protecting me. You know, you guys use that term with me. I asked you guys to look it up a few. What is the syndrome again? The Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome. Where the person that is oppressing you, you allow them to continue. And that's what we have in America. My new book, How to Make America Utopia, that I should have had out over a year now, that I'm on page 2. I'm on page 210 of as last night. I'm cleaning it up. It looks like it's going to be a book of about 220, 230 pages or so. I'm cleaning it up right now. Anyhow, we talk about that. Egberto, Michael Moore's movie about mass shootings was Bowling for Columbia. Yes, it was. Columbine. If you're talking about something else, get back to me later. I was talking about something else. Mike Cisak, even worse. The MLB moved their all-star game to Colorado, a state where even the more strict voter laws in Georgia. No, everybody can vote by mail. They didn't curtail that. And that is what you guys are missing. We want elections that are very well protected. We don't want thievery. We don't want crooks. We don't want any of that. But we want full access. We want easy access, and that is what Colorado does. It is a figment of the imagination of the right that somehow Colorado is less than Georgia. It is a figment, and that is what hurts me so bad. You know, today I was listening to Tom Hartman today, and somebody called up about vaccines, and she was spouting all these things that she heard on the right. And Tom Hartman finally stopped her and said, look, I can't let you continue. And I didn't know how to address. I wanted to call up Tom and say, no, Tom, keep her talking. And for everything that she says, please counter it and give people a little bit more. Because I can't be quiet when I see what those on the right are doing for profit by misleading my brothers and sisters on the right. And they're doing it so effectively. So effectively. Lee Grant, Waterline Gate. Don't know what that is. E2447, NOAA site for CO2 monitoring. Thank you, sir. Melissa Noble. Whoa, the person claiming those votes in Georgia has been under a rock at the point in time. This part of the problem we're dealing with. Yeah, and that's why I keep, you know, Melissa, that is why I try to keep talking. That is why I try to keep answering these questions. And that is why I don't just ban people when they just come with a vast number of misinformation. I try to address them because it's not only that person you're talking to the thousands of people that are going to watch your thread or that's going to watch your podcast in the future, or that, because remember, these podcasts last forever. They last forever. I tell you what, it looks like I'm not going to get to my videos today because your questions keep on coming, and I think it's your show, and if you keep pointing these things out, it's best for me to have it. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep the videos that I have for today. I'll play them tomorrow. And let me go ahead and do my ask right now. If you're on YouTube right now, I want to kindly ask you to click that join button, because the only way we can stay on air doing what we do, and we are on air in several places. You know, we're on air here, or rather, we're here on right here on the internet, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Twitch. Right now, if you were to go to 90.1 FM Houston, you'll hear another show that I'm doing right at this same time. In fact, I'm talking about coal-powered plants, the DNC that I uploaded to the KPFT right now. So that's live on air right now, 90.1 FM Houston, 90.1 FM Houston. If you go there, you'll hear Politics Done Right now on that on air right now. So we do a lot. And today, Tuesday is my tough day because I prepared two shows, one for KPFT and one for YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and all the other areas. So I ask you so kindly, please go ahead and click that join button and become a member, not only a subscriber, but a member of our PDR Posse. Just click the join button. If you don't see a join button, or if you're on Facebook Live, or if you're on Twitter, or if you're on Twitch, that link that I'm just sending there, which says politicsdoneright.com/YouTube, politicsdoneright.com/YouTube. If you click on that, you can also join. We also want to remind you, of course, that many people who join the posse or not get our mug designed by Bridge MCP, and I have it on the screen. And Bridge sent me 2 more pictures from 2 other people that purchased the product, but I didn't get a chance to upload it yet. I'm going to upload it for the show tomorrow so we can see other folks that have gotten the PDR Posse mug. If you want the PDR Posse mug, please go ahead and get it at the link that I just placed in there, williesmediallc.com. Again, please support the program. If you go ahead and click join now and come online now, I'll see that green thing that I can then put on the screen to say people, hey, we got a new member that just activated right now. But anyhow, so go to click on join if you're on YouTube, or go to politicsdoneright.com/YouTube, politicsdoneright.com/YouTube to become a member of the PDR Posse. Alternatively, you can also become a patron, and we need a lot more patrons. We need about 1,000 patrons. We're only at, I think, 134. Please go ahead and link to politicsdoneright.com/Patreon. Patreon is spelled Patreon. Politicsdoneright.com/Patreon. Please consider becoming a patron by simply going to that link. Or you can support us via PayPal. How do you support us via PayPal? politicsdoneright.com/PayPal. politicsdoneright.com/PayPal. Now, the book that you see on the screen right now, it's worth it. How to talk to your right-wing relatives, friends, and neighbors. You can get it at this Amazon link. I ask you so kindly to consider getting it at the Amazon link, and if you so choose to. But if you want to get rid of the middle person and get it directly from our site, you can go to politicsdoneright.com/store. Anybody who buys it from our store, I will include a bumper sticker, a Politics and Right bumper sticker, and I'll sign the book directly. So please consider going to politicsdoneright.com/store to get it. Nanette Bird-Smith says, I am a Patreon. Thank you so kindly, Nanette Bird-Smith, for being a Patreon. We need quite a few more. Okay, going to continue with the questioning that you guys have out here. Let's go back. I got to scroll back up here. Let's see, Carl Cox. Let's see. Okay, can't give. Let's see. Michael Rudnin, Republicans have no policy positions with a supermajority polling support. I got to go back a little bit higher. There we go. Here we go. Melissa Noble says, whoa, the person. No, I get that already. Michael Rudnin says, Republicans have no policy position with supermajority polling support. If they want to win, Republicans have to cheat, and they cheat with gerrymandering and voter suppression. They are showing us that they think their lives would be better in some people, minorities, women, that their lives are better if some people, minorities, women, college grads, couldn't vote at all. The policies that they're effecting, that is exactly what it says. But we have to remember that the design of the Constitution itself, I don't want to only give Republicans a hard time. I want to say, from the inception of this country, we were never a democracy. Not even a representative democracy. Everybody likes to say, no, we're not a democracy. We're a republic. We're a representative. Look, we were never even that. The fact that at one time I was 3/5 of a person, we're not a representative democracy. The fact that women couldn't vote until 1919, we were not a representative democracy. The fact that people of color couldn't vote, we're not a representative democracy. The fact that right now you have to register to vote and in some places beg to vote, we're not a representative democracy. The fact that we have gerrymandering in such a manner that can have more representatives of a party that represents less people than that party have actually voted for them, we do not have a representative democracy. Do not fall for the trap. What we have is a document that gives people who own a lot of property more power than the average American citizen. It's not a democracy. What is the deal with water? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Let's see. The duck that quacks, can they give cold beer? I love beer. Deal with the water. Standing on line for 5 or more hours, you will use up water you The duck that quacks, okay, can't give it, then they sell it for $1. Look, I don't even want that. I want folks to be able to get up there and help people. That's what I want. I want people to get out there to help people. Michael Rudnan, right now what the government is trying to expand is infrastructure investment to mitigate climate change. We can pay now or we can pay a lot more later when global warming destroys our civilization. I agree. The worst, Carl Cox, the worst part of the Georgia voter suppression law is the fact that the Republican-controlled state legislature can decide what votes count in each county. Magical. Magical. For everything that I said, what Carl Cox just said there is the most important issue. Period. Carl Cox get the statement of the day. And let me tell you why. If we had the laws in Georgia that we had during the election of Donald Trump would have won Georgia. Fortunately, even if he had won Georgia, he would have had to win Arizona as well. So there you go. Bridge MCP says the intelligent LOL have 4 degrees. Progressive here. Ted Moore, doesn't the Georgia law make it so that Republican legislature, exactly, it says that. Colorado voting laws are similar to Georgia despite decision to move. No, it is not. Slaves to chasing the money. Michael Rudnan, Carl Cox, exactly. Carl Foster, you love people like Berto Willis, but your puppet masters don't. Oh, Carl Foster. Where are you, Carl Foster? What state are you in? What city are you in? Because I want to see if you're close by so we can have some coffee. Jessica Taylor, replying to Rudnan, very well said. We're so behind the curve of the modern world with infrastructure. And the duck that quacks says, I am always finding new and innovative ways to meet local building and zoning codes. Flank 'em. Why is politics in sports? Why not? Because politics is a part of sports. Melissa Noble says, I am all for progressive policies as well as accountability with fiscal responsibility and good incentives. There is so-called conservative view. These labels suck and is the deflection from topic and pit people against one another. Maybe these parties want this to happen because of the competitive American mentality that exists. Clap, clap, clap. Melissa, you hit the nail on the head. Notice why I wrote my book. I'm plugging my book. Please go get it. But it really proves a point. Why do I want all my conservative brothers here? Because I know I have more in common with my conservative brothers and sisters here than I have with Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey has a lot in common with Donald Trump. And people say, oh no. To which I say, the thing that really is of fatal, how should I say, our largest clear and present danger right now, and nobody will admit it, not even true Democrats will admit it. Our largest clear and present danger is the form of capitalism we practice. A lot of people are not going to like that, but it's true. And if we tell Oprah, if we tell Donald Trump, if we tell Bill Gates, if we tell Jeff Bezos that they are hoarders of money they didn't earn, they wouldn't believe it. They would think that they deserve it, that it's theirs, that they made it, that their ingenuity did it. That's what they would think. You know, Oprah is a star. I love Oprah. Oprah thinks she's correct. Oprah is a nice person. Oprah gives away, not nearly enough, but she gives away. But what she doesn't understand is that her success is based on all the engineers who created the cameras that were never paid, all the people who created the technology that puts her in every place that she has been that never got a part of the spoils of her billions. We are all interdependent on each other. That we have an economic system that allows some to monopolize on the pieces of what everybody else bring to the table is what's wrong with the economic system. You know, When you have been indoctrinated into a form of thinking, it's hard to get that across. And then we get a lot of people defending the capitalist, thinking, well, I'm defending that because someday that's going to be me. It's never going to be you. You have to be chosen. You have to be chosen. Okay, I'm keeping reading. Let's see. Breach MCP, the Yahoo link just linked to Fox News. Okay, E27. U.S. incinerated 2 Japanese cities in 3 days and put 2 persons on the moon using slide rules. They sure did. Who else can attack global climate change other than big government? Not only Google, Twitter, Facebook. Exactly. Play videos, please. Play videos. I want to, but I don't have the time. The videos that I have, by the way, if you want to cheat and not wait till tomorrow, let me give you what I do lately. For every video, I write a blog. And in the blog for the show today, the blog that you're seeing on the screen right now, let me put that blog on the screen. If you take a look at that blog, you have the mainstream. You see those bullet items? They all point to the blogs for the respective videos, and you can actually play those videos inside of that blog. So again, I cheated, but again, you guys put so much stuff up here today that I really wanted to answer I felt a responsibility to talk back to you if you're going to spend the time to write all this stuff. Carl Foster, politics are a swamp of corruption. Okay. Chat's hella active today. Yeah, it's very active today. And that's why I haven't been able to get to the show, which I'll do tomorrow. Melissa Noble, LOL, you are a good sport. E, gotta be, baby, gotta be. Breach MCP, you are here. Join us, PDR Posse. Yeah, folks, where are you? Join the PDR Posse. I don't see anybody joining the PDR Posse live today. Just click on the join button if you're on YouTube. The duck that quack. Or you can also click that $sign and give us a super chat. AVQ, Carl Foster, big money out of politics is my top issue. It should be, and it solves a lot of problems. Absolutely so. Tom Haynes, NBA MLB All-Star game will be played in Colorado. How different are they from Georgia? Very different. Carl AVQ, let's see. Let's continue scrolling down. Wow, you guys, whew, I'm gonna be tired when I'm done with all of this. Carl Foster, if you got rid of corruption and greed, we would all be friends. Carl, I know you're a nice guy. You're a conservative, but you're a nice guy. Like I tell all my folks here, we all really want the same things. We really do. I've proven that. We know the NRA and the RNC are corrupt. True. Eric Hayes, I think Georgia is losing millions on this too. Yes, they are. I'm on Patreon, says Nanette Bird-Smith. The church is corrupt on many levels. I write about that in my new book as well. The duck that quacks. Cops are certainly corrupt in many regards. They give BS revenue ticket. Look, cops are not, in many ways, cops are very corrupt. And people say, oh, most cops are good. You have a few bad ones. All cops know the bad cops. Hear me out. Cops know the bad cops. If you know the bad cops, you know they're hurting the community, and nobody says anything, then you're bad. The blue line of silence is a clear and present danger specifically to people of color. Remember that, folks. As my brothers and sisters, it is all our duties to fix that. And that's why the moniker defund the police comes from. And what it really means is let's put the money where it can more effectively create good laws and good order. And what we have now sure don't. What we have is a set of people who look at some people in this country as subclasses. Carl Foster, both parties are corrupt. I agree. British MCP, go girl. I remember when you told us that. The duck that quacks. So are a lot of pharmaceutical outfits in management. The duck that quacks, I got the less. Michael Rudden, Egberto, I want our nation to live up to the ideals of representative democracy. What we actually have and have had is an oligarchy or plutocracy, said very well as well by Professor Wolf, Richard Wolf, that I've had on the show several times. The duck that quacks says, Democrats win by a mile. Justice Democrats, E2247, Justice Democrats first recruit 2022. Odessa Kelly running for Congress in Tennessee 05. I saw that. She actually sent me a press release. I'll probably get an interview with her, okay? And I'll bring the interview here. Also, our girl, women, when I want to know. I want to know this because I say my boy all the time, and sometimes I say our girl. For the women that are in the chat right now, am I being sexist if I'm talking about Nina Turner, who I consider a friend, and I say, my girl, this or whatever? Even though I know I could say it to her, saying it to you or saying it on the show, would it be considered sexist? Let me know, and so if I need to modify how I speak sometimes. Okay, Bruce Pollard, one person, one vote. Absolutely so. The duck that quacks. The Georgia law stinks like a Trump. Yes. Michael Redden, Bruce Pollard, one citizen, one vote. But yes, that's the goal. Eric Hayes, are you in favor of reducing drug coming from South? If so, what you suggest is a solution? Legalize the drugs. If we legalize all drugs, we start taxing them. We can do several things. We can start putting the people who are sick and addicted. We can pay for getting them well. And also the price, hopefully, will drop of the drugs. The black market will have to start selling the drugs and pennying the dollars, and the sophisticated networks that they can afford right now, they couldn't afford, which means they're easier to catch. That's my opinion. Until we try it, we won't know. Tom C. Mitch McConnell complained about corporations being political, even though he's the biggest supporter of corporate money. Absolutely true. Carl Foster, politics is a merry-go-round of hate. Yes. MLB didn't move the game for political reason. It was for business reasons. Linda Jo Kessinger. You know it. You know it. You know it. Isn't Amazon having a workforce problem via unions? What we want is we want Amazon to unionize. I always enjoy it when chat takes over a day's show. So you guys hijacked my show today. Egberto talks about a topic. Several of us drop replies. You read those out and follow up. It's a group conversation where ideas are spread. Michael, that's why, I say you guys own the show. I really mean that. I enjoy doing this, okay? I just want to make sure that everybody likes what we're doing, because we have to be balanced to make sure that we are good to everybody. We have one person who said, play the videos. I gave him an option that he could see the videos right now. I'll play the videos tomorrow. Roberto Luis, mi hermano. Yes, sir. You are so right. The Jazz and others. Yes, sir. Paul Fleming, you should have watched 60 Minutes in this past Sunday. I saw it. They talked about the need of the super rich needing to give up wealth and power. Here's the problem I had with 60 Minutes, and I was talking to my wife about that. They want to fix the aberration that is capitalism by asking for the benevolence of those who have made it within capitalism. In other words, after these people have done whatever they needed to do to hoard money, we want to go back to them and say, okay, could you please give away more? It is like the following. I pick your pocket. I'll pick a lot of pockets. And then I go into the community of all the people's pockets that I picked. And I look like a nice guy because I say, oh, you need some money? Here's $1. Here's $2. Here's $10. I don't want the benevolence of people. People are generally benevolent. The capitalists, a lot of capitalists aren't, but people are generally benevolent, and people are not greedy. If people were greedy, capitalists couldn't exist, because nobody would allow anybody to rip them off the way it happens now. So people are nice. People are good. I want codification of goodness. In other words, I want an economic system codified for goodness, and it is possible. Mr. R, welcome aboard. Professor Wolf explains it best. If you are 100% of what you are worth, the capitalists would never hire you. They have to, by design, pay you less to gain profit. Profit is your excess labor. Bezos lives on the sweat of others. Bruce Pollard, you got that right. Carl Cox, Egberto, how can I stay in touch with you by email? info@politicsdoneright.com, Carl. info@politicsdoneright.com. I read all of my emails. Sometimes I get behind because sometimes I get flooded. But I always read my emails, and I also always reply. Also, sign up for the newsletter if you're not signed up, Carl Cox. Please remember to sign up for the newsletter. Michael Rudden, Echo. I'm getting an echo? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Right-wingers think one day... Am I getting an echo, folks? Right-wingers think one day they will become millionaires. Left-wingers know the system is stacked against them and the odds slim. All right? They can afford to drink purified water, hot, cold, ash drop. Exactly. Whoops. It was on my mind. AVQ, never mind, it was on my end. Thank you. I was getting worried about that. MLB Stars, Mile High, Colorado, practice breathing, boys. Michael Rudnin. Until good cops turn into bad cops after they do their dirt, can we say there are any good cops? Exactly, Rudnin. That's what I was saying. Eric Hayes, bond issues leading to people dying. We'll talk about that. There's a program that I want to do on bond. I have somebody to interview on that. And that was put forth by you, Eric Hayes. You know I listen to my people. If you're a girl, you're a friend. Okay, thank you very much, Courtney. I think you're telling me it's okay. Bridge MCP says, no, it's not okay. All right. Well, I won't say my girl anymore because if I am, I won't say it anymore. And if I do and slip, I'll ask for forgiveness. Egberto, after the show, want to laugh. Thank you, Rodney. I'll take a look at it. Not sexist at all. Oh, Breach says it's not sexist. Thank you very much, Breach. I misunderstood what you were talking about. Oprah Winfrey, like you said, she is a profitable person, but she's doing what America produces, capitalism. So exactly right, Hermano. Can you post Katie later? I can't wait till she's great. I have it posted already at my website. She's your home girl. I think it speaks to the depth of the relationship you all share. Thank you. Eric Hayes, can't legalize cocaine. Yes, you can. Do you think cocaine is all much different than some of the drugs that are being prescribed to people right now? I know a lot of people here in Kingwood that are taking drugs stronger than cocaine that are prescribed to them. Please. I don't like Turner, so whatever you call her is fine. Oh, come on, Pamela. She's caustic to some. I like her because she's straightforward. Let's see. Price of enforcement plummets. Linda joke. I'm going to have to get out of here pretty soon. It's after time. Egberto Willis, I don't take offense at the word girl when she said with affectionate, only when used to talk. Thank you very much, Linda Joe Kissinger. Appreciate that. Eric Hayes. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to leave you. I'm just scrolling down real quick to see if I... Whoa, Michael, that's a long one. I'll take a look later. Mike Cisak, how do people understand what they're not wealthy are paying more of their share of taxes to the federal government at lower tax rates? Then here's a deal. Well, I tell you what, let's... CSAC, bring that at another time where I can take it, but I got to go now. Folks, please remember, click join to become a member of our Politics Done Right posse. Click the join button. If you don't have the join button, go ahead and click the link that I'm putting in there right now. YouTube, politicsdoneright.com/YouTube, politicsdoneright.com/YouTube. Please consider becoming part of the PDR posse. We also need patrons. Please become a patron. politicsdoneright.com/Patreon. Patreon is spelled Patreon. Patreon. Or you can support us via PayPal. That is politicsdoneright.com/PayPal. politicsdoneright.com/PayPal. Consider getting all our books. You can get it at our store. We have several books. Let me just show you real quick. It's worth it. As I see it, Class Warfare, the only resort to right-wing doom, and about weight control, how I control my weight. Anyhow, consider getting them at politicsdoneright.com/store, or just go to the Amazon link that I'm going to put on there. But let me put the politicsdoneright.com store up there first. Here is the store. And I'll sign a book and give you a bumper sticker if you get it directly from our store. But if you want to get it from Amazon, that's the link right there. I got to get out of here. Thank you so kindly. Thank you so kindly for spending this time with me. I really appreciate you all of you. And I also want you to notice we have Republicans, Democrats, conservatives, anarchists, progressives, left-wingers, democratic socialists. I can pinpoint each one of you in this room. And notice how we can have a civil conversation. And notice how nobody thinks that we just need to slam the other person. If we just try, we don't have to agree. Just try. I believe in what I believe, but I respect you. My name is Egberto Willis. This is Politics Done Right. And you know how I end this baby. I am what? Out. Welcome to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Willis. This is a progressive program that will take the mystery out of politics. This is the program that will encourage you to make sure government becomes we the people. Whether you are liberal, progressive, conservative, or otherwise, you get to air your point of view. We are an independent media outlet that, unlike mainstream media beholden to corporations, we only owe allegiance to you. Remember, you can also send me a tweet at EGBERTOWILLIES. That is at Egberto Willies. Let us engage. It is politics done right.